Check, check. Desktop audio, wireless, 10-minute introduction. Okay, I think I'm doing good here. I think I am live. No, I don't want that. I want this. Check, check, check. Okay, so I need to do yes, but I'm working on a couple of things at the moment. So give me a second. What? Oh, come over here and smoke a bowl. That's what's on the screen right now. Okay, so let's check. The internet here is that one. Okay, let's open. I don't really let's open the paint anyway, just because. So here's the internet. Fix it. Demo station looks good. Wander cam. Oh, this is oh great. So the wander cam's on. It's great. So while I'm doing all that, yeah, put it back on introduction. Oh, good, because Okay, it's the Grow Boss. I am in a hydro store in Henderson, Nevada. My hydro store. Woo! And this is my webcast. I'm going to start doing it every week for the vendors and the hydro stores, just like I do it for the growers. I know I appear a little rushed today. Things are going on. I'm not showing up super organized. However, I have been so busy redoing the store. We just got off lunch. But I've been so busy redoing my store. That's Chuck over there. But the store looks fantastic. I've got my little demo station going over here. Anyway, so we got a little bit of time to talk today. And today's topic is all the stuff I buy in my hydro store that doesn't come from a distributor. So I got lots of fun stuff to do today. Here is my Wander Cam. Check this out. I got a cam hat so I could walk around the store. Check it out. I love this thing, right? So I got my wireless mic going. I got my cam going. I can walk around the store. We can take a trip. We can look at some inventory as the show goes on. Like, okay, so don't eat lunch right before the show, because then you're sucking food out of your teeth. All right. That's okay, though. That's how it works. And you can see I'm still working on repositioning the cameras and stuff. But the best part is, I got a wireless microphone now, so I can move around my store with a plum. Well, with wild abandon anyway. Oh, yeah. I gotta love this. So, the hydro business is not what it used to be, is it? The hydro business is just not what it used to be. I remember doing like $3,500 days. We would order 4 pallets twice a week in a 1,200 square foot store. And now I do about $3,500 a week. It's not bad. I of course moved my store to a lower rent location. I was on the #1 intersection in the Home Depot parking lot at $4,000 a month rent. Now I'm at $1,260. And they let me use the alleyway out back. I think maybe my my Grow Boss cam, my Wander Cam, will get me out back so you guys can see everything. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about your store, or how I advertise my store, or how I advertise my books to the stores, you can call me. It's 84 Grow Boss. We can do it just like that. We can talk about my ideas. We can go through your ideas. I haven't really had the chance to set up all of my equipment yet, so I know that I like that better right there. Sweet. This is the back of my store. I've got a studio in the back of my store. This is what I sell my customers, right? I mean, you look around, the Wander Cam. I mean, we just take a quick look at my store. Okay, so I got all the nutrient shelves. Now this is where I am. Some ThermoFlow, of course, turbo cloners. Right, I got the equipment behind me. I've got my super awesome Grodan stack along with the cloth pots, because you and I both know if you got a store, man, those cloth pots and Grodan take up so much space. And of course, that's what I look at when I'm sitting here at the desk. That's the Grow Boss Cam. So, if you have any questions, the number's 80. Oh, let me do this. Let's see. All right, let's make sure this is working. 813, you're on with the Grow Boss. 813, good afternoon. You have to turn down your computer, and then we'll be talking at the same time. Up. 813. I'll give you a sec to catch up. Okay, because I'm still setting up this camera, because look at that, it's slanted. 813. 813.
Hey, there's
there we go. I got you.
Richard, you got me?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you. Let's do this again.
Richard, MJ Richards in Tampa.
Okay, sorry. So you're cutting in and out. I don't think it's me. I think it's you. You're cutting in and out. So tell us who you are one more time.
Richard with MJ Richards in Tampa, Florida.
Sweet. And what does MJ Richards do in Tampa, Florida?
We have a small indoor grow supply and hydroponic store in Tampa.
Nice. Tampa. Now, Florida, I ship books to a lot of stores in Florida, and you guys tell me it's still pretty tight down there. So how are things going?
It's moving slowly but surely in the right direction. You know, I mean, we finally got some direction from the jokers up in Tallahassee, but we still have a ways to go.
Nice. So what can I do for you? You've got a store. What can I do? What are you thinking today?
Well, my biggest, I would say the biggest wrench I have is just trying to figure out the cracking the nut for online sales. I have a website, and I started to list just a small handful of items on eBay, and Amazon just scares me because of all their fees and all that. And, you know, it's just, there's just so much out there, and a lot of folks, it seems like, are selling at prices below, you know, what I could get them for. But, you know, for scalability and, you know, for future proofing, you know, I want to be able to increase my presence online and get some sales going online.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I don't sell product online. And it's one specific reason, and that is I can't buy it cheap enough. It turns out that the big dogs, and one of the things I was going to go over today, in fact, thank you for going over this with me. I'm going to show you right now. Let me get on the internet, and I'm going to show you right now this website called zenhydro.com. And oh man, check it out. Okay, so give me 1 sec here. Let me give me 1 sec. Boom, there it is. So now I'm right side up. Zen Hydro. Motherfucker, these guys are serious. And the prices that they have, literally, you can't. Okay, so you, listen, I'm showing you right now that you can order $5.99, $6 for a pair of rope ratchets on Zen Hydro. Zen Hydro has rope ratchets. $6. You want to look at their ballasts? Dude, I understand.
And they probably offer free shipping too, right?
If not, by the time you buy a bull ballast and a hood, you're there. And I will tell you that $65.99, they're 1,000 watt, 8834. Now, like literally when I tell you that when I tell you that there's 25 items in my store that I buy cheaper online, like you may not be able to see the delay. This was ballast that
Damn it.
Now
I'm breaking up. I can't hear it. Hang on.
Okay. Sorry. So this is my.
I apologize.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's me or you because I'm testing out a new wireless mic system, but I think it's you. Anyway, so I just held up to show you this cardboard box item that I bought, this brown box item I bought from my store on eBay for 89 bucks for a 1,000 watt ballast. Now listen, I still carry my distributor's ballasts in the store. I think I'm supposed to sell them for like high 1, low 200, something like that. I mean, these guys have my ballast on their website. Like they have my distributor, they have both distributors' ballasts on their websites for $25 more than I pay for it. They have, the iHordelux. And so I'm just saying that Zen Hydro, whether they're a store or not, makes it very difficult to compete because they buy direct. They go direct to Botanicare. They go direct to Canna. And when you buy $20,000 worth of inventory, you get it for 20% less than I'm paying for it. It's a difficult thing to compete online. Now, let me tell you this. We sell almost 1,000 packages online every month. We sell a lot of packages online every month. I specifically, we call her the Lone Wolf. It's my kid's mom, my former wife. She actually owns the Grow Boss, the Hydro store. She owns everything. And she is a shipping department. And at 750 to 1,000 packages a month, I will tell you that there is an average of like 2.75 emails per item that you ship. Now, not every item requires additional emails, but the ones that require emails and the ones that have questions, dude, they'll give you 7 or 8 emails, and eBay and Amazon want your ass to answer to that. It's a thing. So if you're going to take them on, pick a few items that you can stock in the store, but make sure you never run out, because it's totally doable. Find a vendor, find an item that you sell at the store. For instance, let me check this out. For instance, I'm going to I'm going to show you what I do. You're going to love. Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Hey.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. All right. So, now I walked around the store and tested this microphone before, but I just want to make, like, it's the internet, so magic can happen. Okay. So I'm telling you to pick one item that you like. I'm suggesting that you pick 1, 2, 3 items that you like that you can sell in your store. I buy these megameters. Well, I don't know what the Chinese call them, but I buy these megameters online by the 100. Let me see. Okay, so let me show you. Let's do it like this. I buy these megameters by the hundreds. And then I just literally put my sticker on their box. I put a made for marijuana sticker on it. I even send the Chinese instructions. Now, I add Energizer batteries and I calibrate the meters. However, if you want to know how come I sell so many meters, you really, part of what you're going to have to do is you're going to sort of have to market yourself a little bit, because here on my megameter page, I have a video that shows you how to use the megameter. And people feel extraordinarily comfortable because it's already a difficult topic. But you go over here to Zen Hydro, let's see, digital meter. HM Digital. You want to see something funny? I'll show you something funny. I'll show you. And this is all, the information that I'm giving you at the moment is all part of everything that you need to know to sort of take the scale of what I actually. Hey, do you know we had some of these in the plastic hangies? You know, some HM digital meters in the plastic hangies. We had a couple of square pieces of plastic about this big. Here, that them. Blam. Nonsense in our industry. I'm gonna show you something. Okay, I buy my megameters and I sell them. Can you hear me? Okay, you got me. MJ, Richard. All right. Well, it says I still got him on the call, so I'll keep going. Richard. So here's some shit. This is an HM digital meter that we buy for like $20-some or some shit like that in there. And then here is this $5 meter that I buy from eBay, yeah, they are really similar, aren't they? The buttons change, and you can find both styles on eBay for $5. But this brand is so well known that I didn't actually want to put the Grow Boss name on it because I figured I'd pick something a little less popular that wasn't already in our industry. Also, these do pH and ppm, and I sell them for 79 bucks. And these ones do ppm only, and I sell them for 20. I buy them for 5. That's 15 bucks. I got to tell you, you buy one of these meters, expensive meters from, dude, this meter's 5. This meter is like 25 through a distributor. So all I'm saying is, if you're going to pick some products, some things that you might consider is doing what I did. Pick something like this, put your own name on it, dude. You could probably literally scratch that shit off of there. You know what I mean? You can probably literally just like, and put your own sticker on it or whatever it is you want, just like they did. You know what I mean? They just put their name right there, and then they put it in a package like this. All I'm saying is that you can probably do the same thing that I did, because there are some gaps in here. There are some gaps in our industry that haven't been filled. Like, I started an RO product, so I like the idea of selling online, but I just want you to understand that there is an enormous amount of responsibility and cost factor that goes into making the decisions of what I buy online. The best part is, though, no matter what you buy online, you've got a hydro store, so you can sell them. I buy these. Listen, the ones that get returned, oh my God, I sell them in the stores used, and I still make money on them used. And because I have so money, what I do is I just, if somebody buys a probe, I sell them this probe, and then if somebody needs a warranty, which I've had 1 in 300 warranties that I've sold, I just ship them a whole new meter. I don't even do this. Oh, dude, these meter things are so much money. And the best part is it's mailbox money, because I made a video. The video's done. I wake up in the morning, people are buying my meters. So I like the idea of all of us doing that. I like the idea of us selling online. I mean, the vendors do it to us. It seems acceptable. I don't mind if the vendors sell online. I'll tell you what the problem I have is. I have a problem with the vendors selling online below MSRP. I also have a problem with the vendors allowing people to sell their products at these prices online because of the hydro stores. Now, I mean, business is what it is. It's nothing for, I mean, I like it or don't like it, but I'll tell you, I'm brutal. I compete. So, like, what are some of the other products? Hey, Richard, did I ever get you back? All right, Richard, call me back. Let's see. It says I've still got my voice going. I got a couple people watching, so the microphone must be working. If you watch my weekend show, you'll know why I'm so afraid of the microphone. So what are some of the things that I buy for my store? Because, like, literally, like, I have to be careful. Advanced Nutrients, self-distributed. Canna, self-distributed. So how do you deal with them when you're a 1,200 square foot store and you want them to buy, they want you to buy $5,000 worth of their shit and everything? So what do? I figure if they allow their shit to be sold on the internet cheap, then I'll go ahead and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to complain, but then I really don't want to hear anything from the vendors either. I'm not shopping for female shoes. But I really don't want to hear anything either from the vendors when I'm buying tents online for 50% less. And I'm getting what? Oh, yeah, House and Garden. Oh, my God, their whole line of nutrients. Okay, so here's what I did. I bought 2 of each in quarts, no gallons, and I buy their Roots Accelerator online. I just add $5 to it, or, whatever it is. If I buy the small one, I add 5. If I buy the big one, I add 7. And then I make a couple bucks off of it. Now, I would never recommend that brand because I don't make nearly as much off that one as off of, I would say, oh, you know what? Why don't we take a little trip into the neighborhood and see if this works? Why don't I get my little wander cam and see if I can get, one of the problems is that dog is sleeping on the rest of the cable. See him? That dog is sleeping. So the cam's only, but I'm getting better. It's the first time I'm using the wander cam. For my like the best of business. And like phospholode, right? Like none of our I get that on, and then I package the shooting powder for whatever products are in the store. So we know which of the products that we're going to make money on and which of the products we're going to lose money on because there's only just the couple of us. So that's sort of how we work. Like some of those products, like here I buy Floramite. And I get it prepackaged in little 1 ounce and 4 ounce. And, here's just, I buy 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 of these things, depending on which ones the popular items are. But I don't try to, let's switch this. And you know what I mean? Like, here's a whole bunch of stuff that I buy, advanced in the 250 and the 500s. I buy the liters of them, Oh my God, nobody does it like Advanced. They are the best when it comes to marketing. Look at all those products and all those sizes. Good grief. So, bush load. Dude, and you know what I do is there's 2 quantity here because they wanted 150. If you notice my price, I got them for 105. I offered them 100. They came back with like 120. I said 105. They took it and I got these bush loads. There's 12 in there, right? I got them for 105 bucks. There's 12 in there. I sell them for 20 bucks. That's 240 bucks for 105. It's paclobutrazol. It's gravity. You know what I mean? Like I get my Mammoth Phosphoload. Oh, 6 bottles, 350 bucks. I get, you know what I mean? Like you get LEDs, more advanced nutrients. Listen, when it comes to advanced nutrients, I just can't express. Like in my little store, you look at all these nutrients, and the only one that much as GH is advanced nutrients. And they do it with just the quarts. I mean, that's all quarts of advanced nutrients. And I've got gallons of GH product. And I know what all these products are. I haven't quite been able to work out like why one is a 300 and a 400, even though they seem to be like the same product A. And, you know, part A, it seems like they switch from 300 to 400 at their convenience just to mix up their labels. But these are the things that I buy in my store because I get tents. I get 4x4 tents for $89. Are they crappy? Yes. Do I stock Gorilla tents? Hell yes, I keep them in the back. I have kind LEDs, new and used. I buy all these products, yes, but I'm just saying, shipping and stuff, I'll tell you what the problem is with shipping. There's a huge learning curve because everybody wants to scam you on eBay. There are people, they will change their address. Do you know you have to ship to the address on PayPal or PayPal doesn't guarantee it? There's a scam. Do you know that they'll just want $5 or $10 back on something, so they'll just be like, oh, something didn't show up? I mean, you really, really have to be on your game. And occasionally what'll happen is I'll get something where I ordered like a 500 mil or a 250 mil, and they'll send me a 500 because they're out. I immediately log on and buy 4 more. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that there are stores that are going out of business on eBay and Amazon. There are things that you can buy from Zen Hydro cheaper than you can buy on eBay because they don't have to pay the eBay fees. That's why when I sell stuff on eBay, I sell it for 100% my books. There's no discount on anything because eBay is more work and I have to guarantee based on eBay and Amazon's policies instead of my own. Now, my own are pretty good. I don't need a hassle. You know what I mean? Like, I sell almost 1,000 packages a month. I don't need a hassle. I would rather just solve the problem by giving somebody money. How corporate is that? You know what I mean? Here's $10,000. Don't sue us because it's more than that in lawyer's fees. So, there are a lot of things like that that I buy online. There's a lot of things I buy from my distributor. But there's a lot of things that I buy online too, just because I don't need that much or that many of them, or my distributor doesn't sell them, or the price is so much less. Listen, my distributor's fantastic. I love the boxes. I don't understand how they can get stuff to me like literally the next morning before my store opens when I order. It's amazing how fast they get it. I mean, the service is fantastic. I like being able to order different quantities. I don't want to have to call the Airstone distributor and buy 500 of each size so I don't have to call them for a year. I don't want to have to spend $2,500 on Airstones. That's the whole purpose of a distributor. But by the same token, as stores and vendors and distributors, we have to ask ourselves, if we allow our products to be sold too cheap online, what happens to the stores? Some stores do better than others. I've literally remodeled my store. Like, I spent $20,000 remodeling my store. I spent $3,000 on the remodel and $17,000 on inventory. But I took the time to remodel my store. Why? I will show you why. Because it is extraordinarily clear to me that this, blam, is a new market. And in this new cannabis market, we have new cannabis players. And one of the players that have entered in are chain stores. We used to be, 1%, 2% chain stores. And now we're 30% plus chain stores. And listen, that's as scary for the distributor as it is for the hydro stores, because chain stores, they don't shop local. They bring their own containers of ballasts over. The ones in the big circle here, 2 of them are chains, 3 of them are chain stores from out of state. 2 of them opened up this year. They're all 4,000 and 6,000 square foot footprints. I mean, these guys are huge. They knock it out of the park. Like, literally, check this out. Watch this. This is, we'll go Google. We'll do some maps. I mean, these guys, they, Oh, Richard. Okay, I got you. I see you're online. Okay, so you're still listening. That's good. Okay, so let's do hydro stores. Okay, so I forgot. I did this a while ago, but you'll like it. Technically, if you notice, the first one, now I just typed in hydro stores, but what I'd like you to notice is that I mean, I'd hate to be the other stores playing against me in this market, in my market, because I'm very good at what I do. If you notice, the first one listed is Las Vegas Hydroponics Advanced Henderson Hydro Store. Do you know why it's called that? Because it has all my competition's names in it as well. So if you go searching for Advanced Gardens or AAA Indoor Garden, or you search for the Hydro Store, oh, yeah, mine shows up first. Okay, Advanced Gardens. These are the big guys. These were the originals in my area. They were the last. They opened up store 15 before everything collapsed. We went from literally like 6 to 15 stores in a year. I closed 2 of my stores when the 15th store opened because they were right at Hydro Geek. Oh, so these guys moved. They're not even at that location. Okay, Advanced Gardens. Grow Generations. Grow Generations just opened up, but that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the big one opened up. The big one, not Grow Generations, not Grow Generations. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? I'm thinking it's hey, Chuck, what is it? It was what's the one out of California? Green Coast. Is it Green Coast? Green Coast. Listen, I remember sending these guys an email like 5 years ago. And I was just like, listen, I'll submit to the empire. If you're going to come to Las Vegas, you should probably just buy my store instead of competing with me. And, dude, these guys are just killing it. Okay, let's look at some photos. Was it these guys that I looked at? Or was it the... Oh, yeah. This is the manager. Dude, look at how many of those Roots bottles they have. They have more big bottles than I have total bottles total. And they're all lined up nice and neat. Mine don't all even fit on the same shelf. I mean, look at their counter. It's so nice. They got a full heavy 16 display. She is so happy. She doesn't look like she hates the customers like I do. Is that out loud? Yeah. Okay, but there were more pictures last time, I thought. Because they had like, look at that Hortilux box right there. I don't know where in my store I would put that. They have so many banners. They do such a good job. Oh my God. They even have this line. Look right here. They have this line that nobody can cross. You know what? You know what? You know what I have? You know what? Look right there, because we just got our thing done. Hey, Chuck, kick that little thing right there for me. Dude, we still have that little 2x4 wood right there. Kick that little wood that we trip over. Look at that. Yeah, there's a piece of wood right there. Why? Because the counter has to match that wall right there for support. Yeah, no, not these guys. They're so professional. They've got paint on the floor. Look at that chair. They have a chair behind the counter. Now, you know, from my opinion, the facilities, I mean, they buy stuff from hydro stores, and while these chain stores may have the express intent of opening it up in every legal state, I mean, think about that. That's a hell of an expressed intent compared to the way it was years ago. Like Operation Green Bust, whatever, that everybody used to be so afraid of. Yeah. I'm just saying that these guys are doing such a big job that I at least had high roller hydroponics. I don't even know what that is. Hydroponic equipment supplier. Is this another new one? Son of a bitch. Is this another new one? Add a photo, write a review. You know, it's tough to know if they're new ones or not because somebody tries to sell shit out of their house. Somebody, you know what I mean? There's like, once you've been watching and you've been doing this as long as I have, you sort of learn about not everything is real all at once. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, but you got to pay attention to, you know, how much of it is. Dude, a sign you can see from the freeway. Man, me and my 1,200 square foot store is like literally these 4 rows right here. Look at their ceiling height. Good fucking God. Is there really that much business in Vegas? We are the grow generation. We are the world. We are. Oh, there you go. I mean, they've got 6 gals down there. I don't have this many 6 gallons in my store. Oh, they've got that, all that room right there. That's my entire store. What is that, 35 gallon? Close up of 35 gallon, some sort of image. Bah! All I'm saying is, if you can get something on eBay and use your store for more than just a hydro store. Hey, I run videos and webcasts. I get paid by the vendors out of my hydro store from this same corner. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get paid to webcast before my store opens. And then people come in and talk to me because of my webcast. What I'm suggesting is that online, it is not the same thing. You don't interact with people in the same way as you do in your store. You can sell stuff online. You can buy stuff online. I buy stores are clearly going out of business. You know what I mean? They've got odd numbers. The last of this, once you sort of like find a seller, you can see, you know, you sort of get a feel for them. You can make them an offer. They're already shipping. There's a lot of these variables out there with eBay and Amazon. You know, you can take it offline and buy even more. It really is worth it. And the stuff is so cheap. Not just so cheap, like, how are the vendors doing this? How are they, you know what I mean? Like, how are the hydro stores? See, I don't necessarily think like, I mean, I think that the hydro stores are going to end up like the beer stores. I think we've got a decade before it gets like that. I think we've got 5 good, 6 good years left, and things will start to, the big stores will have to disappear. And how does a little store stay in business when a big store is blowing out their inventory? Opening up a business in a state that's legal, while sounds like a great idea, I'm looking for some reasons why people think it is. I'm from a business perspective. Once you become a corporation, you have to survive off 11%. I mean, think about the merger between Office Max and Office Depot. I mean, they save 3% on stationery. I guess when you're worth $30 billion, 3% is a lot of money, but you know what I mean? Like, what do we do when one of the big stores go out of business? They have a blowout. I mean, everybody shops everywhere. That's something about the customers. Everybody shops everywhere, even on Clerks, right? Randall and Dante go to another video store. I go to the other stores. I sent people to the other stores. We had before I bought my store from my buddy, I worked for him for a minute. We took 20 tanks over to one of the other hydro stores because they had $10 tanks. $10 refills. It was costing us $12.50. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of little details. Like, we have stuff that we give our customers that we put in bags. We sell stuff, we buy all this stuff online, and sometimes I feel like I'm competing with my own distributor. In some ways, distributors. In some ways. You know what? I'll give you an example. This one just drives me fucking nuts. T5 4'8" bulb. Oh yeah, this one just drives me fucking bonkers. Lowest first. I think we may have to add the word fixture on it to get what we want. Lowest first. Boom. 4-foot 8-lamp fixture, 118. I think we all know that's more than 130 from all of our distributors. I could buy this for less than my distributor. Fortunately, I buy these for $91 from my distributor because I buy them from this guy, one of these guys, and then I order them, a pallet at a time. I get, I think, like 10 4-foot 4 bulbs, and like I think it's 24 4-foot 8 bulbs. I get the 4-foot 8s for 91 and the 4-foots for like 56. Because I buy them in bulk like that and brown boxes, and then you want to know what I do? I'll show you what I do. And then I just open them up and I put them up front like this. And I think you guys know which brand that I'm talking about, right? Because if we take the Wander Cam and we go into my storage area, I think you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Dude, look at all of this shit. And I've got 16 pallets out back. Oh my God, so much shit. Boy, would I love 4,000 square feet. Really, 2,000 square feet's the sweet spot for a hydro store, I think. It lets you do some good inventory, and it lets you set up some displays. So I think 2,200 square feet's pretty good. Like 2 of my units, but the whole thing accessible with a roll up in the back. That's pretty good. It used to be roll up in the back, often in the industrial section. Your stores had to be pretty incognito and out of the way, but nowadays, check this shirt out. Nowadays, the vendors advertise in marijuana magazines. Nowadays, the vendors go to marijuana shows. I feel bad for like MJ Richards, who's like in a spot where the vendors are doing it and he can't. All I'm saying is there are a lot more ins and outs, ways to buy, than there were. If there wasn't, how could a chain store afford to hire a purchasing agent? I mean, someone who just controls things on that scale. I couldn't have my shipping department be a purchasing agent. Shipping department's full time. But I do see that hydro stores have to become a little more than a hydro store to compete with online. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. I think we see it the way it is like this. I'm stepping up my game. I don't want to go out of business because my store is a wreck. I mean, I was making videos in the back of my store, so I released a third of my store to videos, so it looked like I was going out of business for the last 18 months. But the reality is, I was making videos. You know what I mean? Like in 1 month and 30 days, I went from being like a half a hydro store to a hydro store. Of course, I mean, I have this like demo station where I can show people how to use stuff, on webcasts and stuff. But look at that. We got our monitors hung up. I got a nice counter. Right now, we got a little too much stuff under the counter. I'm going to bring in a stool so we can sit on both sides of the counter. But I've got those monitors right there where I can show growers how to do it, how to grow. I mean, I've got the images and the slides. You look at companies like Clonex that are putting together those TV packages that you can, put up on a shelf. Somebody walks by and it activates or it scrolls through pictures. I'm just saying there's a lot of ways that we can integrate in a way that we never have before. So we all need to be taking advantage of it. I mean, there's lots of ways because we have a local magazine called Vegas Cannabis. Vegas Cannabis. Super nice magazine. I don't understand why anybody would advertise in it. I understand why they don't give any to my store because I just call all their advertisers and try to sell them advertising. But I don't understand why you would advertise like solar covers, like the outdoor covers for grows out here in Vegas because it's all indoors. In Oregon, I could see it. You know what I mean? But here, I mean, a facility that opens up already knows they already bought their lights from the distributor, from a vendor. They don't buy, I mean, they just buy direct. When you buy 1,000 lights, you don't buy it from eBay. Just buy direct. So now that they have their lights, what else do they buy? Remember, remember, 85% of growers fail. I think all stores know this. 85% of growers fail. If 85% of growers fail, do the math. 1,000 lights in a facility with a 100% success rate replaces 850 growers every 60 days. And these stores are opening up. Could you imagine? You're opening up in Las Vegas. At least if you're opening up in Las Vegas, dude, you can sell them nutrients, you could sell them lights, you can sell them stuff, you know, nutrients and lights. But you open up a store in Oregon, I mean, they're mostly outdoors 20-1. Sure, they got 10,000 plant facilities. But in Oregon, they're like 20-1 outdoors. If that sort of seriously limits the amount of lights you could sell in Oregon. So coming here to Las Vegas, where the facilities are blowing up and they buy from vendors, all they're sort of, from my mind, they're competing for is a fraction of the replacement market. And this is the emergency replacement, because on some level, most facilities sort of plan better than for just today, like growers. Like, okay, so let me see if I can, cannabis facility nutrients. I'm just looking up images, cannabis facility nutrients. So here's some nutrients. Oh, here's advanced nutrients with their picture in front of cannabis. Here's Vega Matrix with their picture in front of a stalk. Supernatural with some basil leaves on it. GH with a tiny marijuana leaf off at the corner, like, you know, sneaking in there. Dynagrow. Nobody does it like Advanced. They literally tell you that that facilities buy their dope for more, buy cannabis for more if it's whoa, that's a picture, right? I mean, right? So anyway, so usually the facilities, the ones that are smart, these are the ones that specifically buy the 10-0-0 powder and the 0-10-10. If they're in veg, they put 500 ppm of 10-0-0 in, and then they put 0-10-10 until it's at 1,000. So they get 500 ppm in, 250p, 250k. And if they want a bud booster, you know what I mean? Like in terms of bud boosters, like you know, the facilities that buy bud boosters, they buy, it's the same thing. It's all these. The facilities that buy bud boosters, if you want a PK, all they do is add 700 ppm of PK. And instead of 500 ppm at 250p and 250k, they get 350p and 350k. Or they might even lower their N. All I'm suggesting is that if we look at the way things are happening in our industry, things are changing for the distributors, things are changing for the stores, things are changing for the growers, they're changing for all of us. And if you'd like to tell me your opinion about how things are changing, or how you think we should be reaching out for advertising, or how you think we might best amend our practices and better work together, that's really what I try to do on this show. I try to create it such that the stores, the hydro stores, and the hydro vendors, and all of us can work together such that we produce more by working together than working alone. That's why I specifically wrote all my books. Why? Because every store, everywhere you go, every hydro store, everywhere you go, has the same customers and the same questions. Why? Just like customers shop at every store, they have to be the same everywhere, because customers shop at every fucking store. So they have to be asking the same fucking questions. I tossed somebody today just because his questions were so silly and had nothing to do with growing cannabis that I told him, listen, if you want to experiment, that's great. We grow cannabis here. I don't have any answers for you. And when they come in with aquaponics, I tell them the same thing. You're not going to spend $1,500 to grow lettuce. So I don't engage those people, right? We sort of have to, I mean, even on car lots, we did the same thing. You sort of got to filter. That's why what I did was I filtered all the questions that all the customers ask and all the other stores and everybody that calls me from all over the world on my hotline, right? Because I'm the guy who has the, dude, I do probably 35 of these a month. I do more hours than half hours, but I probably do 35 of these cannabis hotlines a month for $49 or $79 an hour for facilities. I mean, that's the best fucking thing ever. $50 and no inventory. It's just straight time, which does suck because I'm super busy. But I literally wrote down all the questions that the customers ask, whether they're calling me or... If a customer comes to your store, if you can open up a book to help them understand something, do you think you're going to sell more or of a kind, of a size, under a light? What? Okay, so let's see. We'll play that. We'll play the backward game. Of a kind, of a size, under a light. What do you say to a customer with too many plants and too many strains and too many different sizes under their one 400-watt light? Of a kind, of a size, under a light. Ah, we all know that question when they try to show you that picture. Oh, yeah. Here's that one. Oh, listen, if you have a 10-10-10 and you add a 0-10-10 to it, you get a 10-20-20. I think I just said that one. Here's all the nutrients and how to think about it. In grow, you want more N than PK. And in flower, you want more PK than N. All I'm suggesting is this book is one way that all of us can work together to do a better job. And I'm not suggesting that we're doing a bad job. I'm just asking, can we continue doing the job we're doing if the market around us continues to change? I don't think so. But I said that 6 years ago. That's why I took a different approach than everybody else. Because I identified the obstacles in a different way and on a different timeline. And once you identify the obstacles, oh shit, what was that, The Last Kingdom? Robert Redford did this movie where he faked an escape at a prison. And then he just wrote down everything that they did and then devised a plan to counteract it. I mean, the business degree, I just predicted what the market would happen and all the stages in between. And then I created an environment such that when all those things came to fruition, I was standing on top of the mountain. It looks pretty good from up here from what I do. So what I'd like to suggest is that there are a lot of opportunities in the cannabis market. You could do in your area what I do in mine. Everybody else advertises in Vegas cannabis. I just called the people that advertise in their magazine to see if they wanted mine. And then I put videos up on YouTube. Oh, dude, I'm about to release a series of Crazy Eddie videos where we're throwing bulbs and ballast off the roof. Right? So, oh, Chuck's up there laughing too. So we're going to go get some cams. We're going to put them out in front of the store. We're going to blow off one of those fire extinguishers. I got one around here somewhere. We're going to start a fire and blow off one of those fire extinguishers and record it. Why? Because, I mean, if we're going to go mainstream, we should go mainstream and embrace it, right? We should embrace who we are. And if we're going to go legal, we should advertise our stores the way other legal stores do. I think it's brilliant. So, to that end, in a lot of ways, when I decided to redesign my store and go after all sorts of, hey, there's somebody at our door. Yeah. And when we designed, it's a working store. I'm paying rent for the store 7 days a week. We're open 7 days a week. I'll tell you, I could be open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It wouldn't matter. I make all my money 5 minutes before I close. It doesn't matter if I close at 6. It doesn't matter if I closed at 7. It wouldn't matter if I closed at 8. We sit here all day sometimes. We'll make $200-300 all day, and the $1,500 sale is 5 minutes before we close. Of course, they get very little information from us when you buy stuff 5 minutes before I close, but for some reason, that seems to be, we do as many sales at 5 minutes before I close as I do everything else combined. Crazy, right? Okay, so listen, I see I got some viewers on here. I sent out some emails. This is the second week I'm doing this. I just want you guys to know that there's a live chat because I do a webcast on the weekend for growers, 9A, Saturday and Sunday. I do a 1-hour show on Saturday, 2-hour show before my store opens on Saturday and Sunday. I've sort of just redid my store. I've got myself a new wireless mic. I'm sort of doing a couple new things here with the cams. I'm reaching out to people because, frankly, I don't want to buy $20,000 worth of Botanicare and sell it online. The thought of that much online sales just... That's why I told you back at the beginning of the show. The lone wolf is in charge of everything. It is so much easier to not be in charge. You know what I mean? Like, she just runs the show. My former wife, she just owns it all. She runs the show. Since she took over the business years ago and we gave it to her, oddly enough, the store lights haven't been turned off in pretty much that long. If I had to do paperwork, that was why I gave her everything. I couldn't do paperwork. I bought a store from one of my friends who had 2 stores, and he couldn't do paperwork. So I bought the one. Then I turned it into 3. That didn't work. Wrote a book. That worked great now. And so, I mean, we all have these hydro stories because they're all part of our lives, just like the store is part of my life. You know what I mean? Like, we do classes, write books, do shipping. We have all sorts of stuff. Like, literally, I have 16 pallets in the alley out back. I have like 10 pallets of soil out there. I have like 10 pallets in this. I literally have 40 pallets in a 1,200 square foot standard store. It's insane because my ceilings are 20 feet. You know what I mean? Like, and when you look at the stuff that I do, like when I'm packed, those are my lights up there. Like, I am packed to the ceiling. Like, I use every bit of space up there, like floor to ceiling. Like, it's no joke. So, you know, there's something to be said for volume as well. You know, I always like the idea of the school. It's tough because you have to prepare for it. I used to sell tickets to a grow school for $100 on the weekend. It was 8 hours. I brought sample nutrients out now. Everybody had nutrients in front of them. Of course, I changed that now. I have a demo station in my store, so when I do my webcast, boom, I can teach my customers how to do it. I mean, you can run classes where you show videos, like, you know what I mean, and then you answer questions. You can sell stuff online. But I'll tell you probably one of the biggest things that I learned from remodeling my store, a couple of things. One, if the industry is slowing down and sort of winding down over the next decade, you know, I would suggest that you go through your inventory and find the things. Like, I've got flip boxes from PowerBox. Listen, PowerBox is a fan-fucking-tastic company with a fan-fucking-tastic product. However, the One Light flip box was great when ballasts were $200, but when they're $86 and the flip box is $200, it's not worth it. You buy 2 ballasts. So I've got them for $50 in my store. I got them so cheap online, the PowerBox guy called me and said, how the fuck are you selling so much stuff so much cheap online? I was like, dude, I can't sell it in the store. But then, listen, by the same token, 24 months ago, if you were to buy one of those Trim Pros like this right there, like this one, like this bowl one right here, or that automatic one, like 24 months ago in my store, if you were to buy one of those, you would have been gangster. Now they've got machines that do 10 pounds in 5 minutes. It shoots an arc out the back, like, you know, like rainbow Skittles falling from the sky. By the way, this is number 9. grown locally, and it is spectacular. Probably the two things that I learned from my store were I traded, all stores should work together. First off, any store should be able to call any other store and try to buy stuff on the back end. I try to offer that to the other stores because I get deals on stuff. I buy used. We should all sort of work together. But I traded 7 truckloads of shit of inventory to one of the other stores that needed it. I mean, you know those Ebb and Grow 5-gallon Monster Grow things? The controller bucket with that were like $300 for that 5-gallon Monster kit from Cap. All of a sudden, I had 5 of them in my store over the years. I haven't sold one. The fuck am I doing with 5? 7 truckloads worth of shit. I traded to another store for straight store credit. It was brilliant. I traded it all for, you know what I mean, anything I get my hands on, like light bulbs. I've got too many light bulbs in my store, but anything I can get my hands on, I traded out. So really what I learned to do was a couple of things. One was I right-sized my store. That was a big deal. I right-sized my store. The second thing that I did was I dug through the corners. I used to have this security cabinet in my store, and there were in the bottom shelves, and then I have these other shelves in my store too, like that are off to the right at the end of the nutrients and stuff. And I had all of these shelves that had corners. And when we remodeled my store, I had 7 cubby holes where inventory went to not get sold. Gah! The fuck am I going to sell it if it's hiding? Okay, so I'll tell you a failure that I had. Let's walk into the neighborhood. Oh, okay. I'll tell you a story about a failure that the Grow Boss had. Check this out. Okay. Now, I really like meters. Now, these meters are from, hang on one second. They're called $149, you know, little blue meters, but look at all the meters that I have. See all these $200 meters? What? That sells his own digital meter for all those meters. It's embarrassing why I have all those meters. I'll tell you why I have all those meters. All right. I have all those meters because when the trade show came into town, I bought their booth. And then we put them in the security cabinet because they were expensive. For 3 years in a row, I bought their booth. I sold 1 meter, and I have 1 more on a display on the counter. I bought their booth 3 years in a row. And in 3 years, I sold 1 of their meters. Why? Because the meters were in one of those nooks and crannies where inventory goes to not get sold. Bah! So that was one of the big things about my stores. There's my store this time. There are no more nooks. There are no more cubbies. I should be able to see everything from every angle, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. We still have too much inventory in my store. I'm not the right size. With 16 pallets out back, I'm not the right size yet. However, I'm working on that. I only buy the stuff I need to replace. Plus, you know, I told you I remodeled the store. I spent 20 G's, but only 3,000 was on the remodel. Like, I literally, if you look at my store, like, okay, so I'll show you something. I literally remodeled my store. See that line right there between the green and the black? You know what that black is? I wrapped my store in panda paper. I wrapped the top like 9 feet or so. We had to cut a little off the bottom. I wrapped the whole store in panda paper. These are literally like, I just remodeled my store. Like the shelves were $1,000. The IKEA, I spent $50 on panda paper wrapping my store. It was like a 100-foot roll. we just chopped up into pieces. So I just wrapped my store in panda paper. It is a little dark, but who knew? I mean, I literally did my store in trash bags and IKEA. I'm just saying that the idea of this show that I do on Fridays for stores and vendors is just what's happening at my hydro store, how I'm thinking about the business, how you guys are thinking about the business. We got a call from MJ Richards, earlier in the show. Hopefully we'll get some more calls on the show next week. The number is 84 Grow Boss. And that's sort of, all the items that I buy online like that. I mean, there's even more stuff that I buy from other vendors like Smoke Buddies and stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff that I buy from eBay and Amazon. There's a lot of my inventory, and it's a high turnover for the inventory. So, for a long time, I didn't sell any advanced nutrients. And I got to say, in the history of my store, there's no single thing I probably lost more money on over the years than not selling advanced nutrients. Bah! The duality of it. Such a difficult company and such a phenomenal advertising campaign. And so many products. They deserve their success, just like you deserve your success. And I'm here for you, the hydro stores. I sell books on Garden Science Magazine. If you want to see where I sell my books, check this out. Of course, if you like the video, you should subscribe to the channel. You should give me thumbs up on the video. But I will say that here on Garden Science Magazine, click on stores. And here you can get those shirts that I send you the emails for. I mean, these are all the books. Listen, that's 24 books is wrong. I'll send you 25. How's that for some shit? It should say 25 books, like it does over here. 25 books. 25 books. I mean, like, I've got all these books that are so cheap that you could be giving them away. And this isn't a book that has to do with growing lettuce on a rooftop or basil salsa recipes. This is a book on how to do the damn thing. Now, not everybody has a marijuana that can do marijuana in their cannabis in their store. So I have a non-marijuana version. 100% no marijuana in the book. So I'm just saying that pretty much everything that's in all these other books is pretty much, everything in all these books. Listen, here are these cards. Remember I told you earlier that I put something in everybody's bag? Dude, these are those charts that I make. Do you know how much money? Do you know how much money my store makes just from this one secret move? Just from this one weird trick. I'm going to send you an email later that says, watch the Grow Boss and his one weird trick. This is the Grow Boss Grow Diamond, and I have this on a 5x7 card. This one weird trick. And you could sell more inventory. Okay. See this diamond? I put this on one side, and then I put my store information on the other, and I pass it out. And customers go home and go to another store and see if they pass out anything that has anything to do with anything. They have a magazine rack. Go look at your magazine rack. If you're a vendor and you're visiting a store, check out their magazine racks. See where you're spending your money. I'm just saying, when some of these in my store, we put something in their bag, they've got something to do with me. You know what I mean? You should have something like that too. That's all I'm saying. That's a big deal in terms of somebody else finds that at their buddy's house. They start growing. Look in the bottom right corner right here. That's my $49 an hour hotline. Sweet. Two dudes sitting there trying to figure out how to grow. Your shit can be on one side. You know what I mean? You take that off and suddenly there's a solution on one side and where to find that solution on the other. What's the cheapest customer you could possibly attract? The one that's already in your store. I'm just saying, those are all the tips and tricks and things that I do to get customers to come to my store, because they all shop everywhere, just like all the stores should shop everywhere if you're not. Just like, you know what I mean? Just like I'm saying that it's a new and dynamic, it's a changing industry. It's just not what it was. And if it isn't what it was, and you continue to be like you be, then how you going to be like it is? Because if you be like you be, and it is like it is, and you ain't be like it is, then you ain't is no more. And I feel that at my hydro store too. And I don't think I could end this video on a better note than saying, you ain't going to be what it is. You see what I mean? All right, listen, I'm the Grow Boss. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll send out another email if you didn't watch. You can subscribe to the channel. You can like the online chat. You can meet me over at the Grow Boss tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You can always pick up my shows later. Listen, I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I hope we get some more calls next week. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Blam. Yes. Let me wait. Okay.